And I was like, I need 100 leads a day. I don't know how you're going to get there. You have an open budget, you have everything, but I need 100 leads a day. But if you give me 100 leads a day, I'll get 20 cars. If I get 20 cars.
Do you hear this? 100 leads a day. Do you guys hear this? 100 leads a day, not a week, not a month.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what we came here to talk about, which is Tinterz. I don't even know where to start with you, man. Yeah, I've known you for a long time.
I know.
But it's like every time I talk to you, and I appreciate you letting me come back in,
Of course.
do this interview. It's long overdue, man. But dude, it's like you just dropped a bomb on me. There's a huge new thing happening that we'll talk about soon. You had a record year last year. You're okay with talking numbers?
Yeah, of course.
Over $7 million across 2 shops. I don't know anybody who's done that with 2 locations.
Especially that they're fairly new shops in the market.
This is
It's not like we're seasoned in. Orlando's only been operating for 3.5 years. Tampa's been operating for less than 2 years. So,
and the amount of volume, the amount of volume, it's not like you're just, it's just crazy that hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cars a month out of Orlando and Tampa. So I need to, for those people who are not familiar with you, I don't know how, because you're also the most awarded shop that I know of. I don't think anybody has more awards than you have. They're not even all here. They're in your other location.
yes.
So we'll get those. We're gonna pull them. We're gonna pull them for for future content, right? But let's start from the beginning. Who were you before you got into the automotive film industry? Because it wasn't like you started tinting windows and you were an installer.
And that actually helped me. I'm not from the industry.
Mm-hmm. And that's debatable.
Yeah,
you know that, right? Like that used to be like a taboo topic. They're the Tinterz, but the OG Tinterz. Because I'm not an installer as well. They said for a long time, and it's not a hit. It's not a anything like that. It is what it is. There used to be that stereotype, and I think there still is, where they said you cannot own a window tint business if you don't know how to install a window tint.
It definitely helped in the beginning to be familiar with the things that I was not familiar with when I started. But we've proven that it's not the case. The way I treat it also, I don't treat it as a shop or from the technical aspect of it. I treat it as a company. We are we do things a little bit different. We are very sales process driven. So that's what helped us, just go fast, really quick. And you know me, and I worked together for a long time. So I was like, whenever it's really good, it's never good enough type of thing.
Well, I was really excited that we reconnected, because we were just here 3 weeks ago, for the Mobile Tech Expo.
That's true.
And then I asked you, and I was like, hey, can we do testimony? Because I'm proud of the work that we've done together.
Mm-hmm.
You're still our biggest case study. You were a year in the business when we first met?
Yeah, about a year.
And you did
in Orlando only.
And what was your revenue when we first met? Do you remember? It was like 1.5.
Minus couple of million.
Okay, so you had a lot.
In a negative. Was
you went all
probably your first year. We're at 700,000 our Orlando shop.
Okay, so it was your first year. I wasn't sure if it was your first year in business or like 2 years in.
No, it was the first year.
First year. And then within that first year of us working together, and that's when we were growing in the PPS space. You're becoming really well known at that time too.
Mm-hmm.
It must have been 2021, 2022,
2021. We worked together multiple times. We were together in 21. We were together also in 23 when Tampa was opening, and we needed to launch and do the awareness campaigns and stuff. So we worked together.
That's crazy.
On 3 different parts of
you
the
put us. I will tell you, I got to thank you for that, man. It's been a long time, but that was, again, you're still our biggest case study. You pushed the hell out of me and my team. We learned a lot. You gave us a lot of leeway. You let us try. You let us fail. And I mean, that year, I'm going to say 2021, you're on pace for 5 million, or you did over 5 million that year after our first 4 years of advertising? So
we started working together in 2021, but toward the end of it, then by the 2022, we were in closer to 5 million Orlando only.
That's crazy. One shop. Nobody's done that. I don't know anybody who's burst a 5 million
second year in the business. First year in the business where we were trying to learn what we're doing, have a process in place, who to work with when it comes to our vendors, brand, film, who to work with when it comes to our
I mean, there's
marketing.
99 things you have to learn in your first year into a business, and you just
Thousands.
So why were you so successful in your first 2 years when other people they don't even know how to get consistent clientele? What separated you?
I mean, for me, it's just like, I don't know. It's a personal. It's like I take it very serious, and I left my job. I was doing, I was in the financial market business. I had to make it worth it because I can't walk away from the job, which is my job is very good, and it's well paid. I was working a lot less. I'll tell you that. I was working 28 hours a week, chilling, and good. I was able to take care of myself.
I could never imagine that for you.
Walking away from this and start something from scratch that I'm not familiar with, so it's just like definitely like challenging myself.
Why?
So I had to push.
Were you trying to open up a PPF business or a window tint business? Although you offer all of those.
I was trying to put a small. It was COVID, so it was COVID. It was my full-time job. Like everything was down, so I wanted to do something on the side, like a side gig, to just give me a couple of extra bucks. But when I came in, I was, put to the test. We were turned down by film companies. We were turned down.
I see.
Bunch of other stuff.
Oh man, they turned you. Oh yeah. Do we want to mention names, or we don't want to mention names?
No names. You know who you are. You know who you are. When we were starting, Ray, I had a film company that approved us as a dealer, and after we did our website, we did all our marketing material, flyers, business cards, uniform, the whole nine. And we were just starting, already in the negative big time.
Right.
They's like, oh, sorry, we cannot have you as an installer because there's another shop that's 3 miles away from you, and it feels like it's a conflict. I was like, okay, well, you didn't tell me that when you signed me up.
Someone dropped
the
ball.
Yeah, well, sorry.
Someone dropped the ball.
Someone dropped the ball.
Was that the biggest challenge though in that first year? What was the biggest challenge?
Biggest challenge?
Because there's something that I've learned from growth. I can tell you, I've watched a lot of people scale businesses. I've seen the right way, the wrong way, especially with my team. My team, they've seen a lot of stuff, but growth exposes your biggest weaknesses. As you grow, the small stuff becomes big. I mean, you know this. So what was the biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge for me was to try to prove that I am not from the business, but I have a vision. And if we follow a good process, if we have a good structure, if we hire the right people, we can do it better than anybody else. So I was challenged by those that were experienced in the business. They're like, what do you know about, this, or what do you know about that? Or like,
so their belief was your knowledge of installation was
yeah. And I was challenged by early, when I was not experienced, like what to do, who to hire, who to trust to put the uniform of the company on. And they were like, I literally had people that come into me. It was like, hey, remember, you need me, I don't need you. Because if I walk out of here, let's say a window tint installer, and they're all good, and I wish them all the best, but I have people that come into us like, hey, remember, you need me, I don't need you. If I walk out of here, I can go work at the shop across the street. If I walk, you shut down today. You're gonna have to cancel all your appointments. Like, wow. Okay, well, if I have to cancel all my appointments, I have to cancel all my appointments.
That's tough.
Yeah. Then just hiring, trying to put a team together, that was like the most challenging, because now I'm not a business operator. Now I'm a psychologist. I have to deal with everyone based on their own, hunger, and they're based on their own ego.
Make sure alignment, make sure teams get along.
Yeah, and I just wanted to run it as a company. You just do your job, I do mine. We meet at 6 p.m., shake hands, goodbye, no drama. So in the industry, in the beginning, now it's better, but in the beginning, I found the very, very challenging to surround myself with people that have the work ethics that I am looking for.
Your team, I can tell you, man, your team, when you walk into the shop, it's very different compared to most businesses I've been in. They get shit done.
They're hand selected. They were recruited by name. We worked with a lot of people, the team that I have right now, I have 32, a team of 32 people. This is like the end of the funnel. We had to go through a lot of people.
I can tell that the way your vision for the company and your mindset running your businesses is completely different from most people in the industry. And I think that says something about the maturity of our space. Like, this industry is completely different. What worked just a year, 2 years ago doesn't work in 2025. The game is different now. You used to be able to be a hobbyist in this space and thrive. You used to be able to run it as a hobbyist or an artist, someone who really just prioritizes delivering A+ work. But it seems that your mentality is different. Most people say installation and operations is the most important thing. If you don't know how to window tint, you can't be a window tint business owner. But what would you say is more important? Is leadership more important? Sales most important to learn? Marketing most important to learn? Branding?
All of it. And they need to be equally as important. It's a very, very tough business, especially when you run a big operation. Because here's the thing. A lot of people say, hey, marketing is important because this was going to give me business. But if you do really well in marketing and you have more business and the back of the house or the shop or your technical ability is not up to par, you'll just fall right on your face. If you're getting the customers in and you have the best installs in the world, but you don't have the right structure, the right sales process, then you're not going to be able to capitalize on the momentum that you're getting. So you end up, spending a lot more than you should, and you're not going to go to the next level because you have a broken piece. It's like an engine. They all have to work together. Like I don't install, and I only work on the process. Here's the thing. I have 6 lines that I'm working on, and they all have to be equally important. And not one out of the 6 is more advanced than the other. I cannot have Ray and Aladdin bringing me 200 leads a day or 100 leads a day or 30 chats, or my phone is ringing and I don't have the sales team that actually can convert and answer those calls and actually make business out of it. So now I'll have more marketing than what I'm capable of closing. So I have to have my sales team and my marketing equally go in parallel. I can also have a lot of very talented, hardworking salespeople, and we're not getting them enough traffic or enough opportunities for them to do what they do best. So they both have to be equally important.
Why are you able to balance it out like that?
I have to. If you don't, then there's something's gonna go wrong. So the marketing, the leads, the business generation, how to generate business, how to generate momentum, needs to be in a volume that you're ready for. Then when you get that, you have to have your sales process, your sales team, everybody's trained properly in order to actually convert that business that you're spending a lot of marketing budget for, or you spending a lot of time to generate as an organic traffic. Then let's say the marketing is going well, then the sales is doing well, then the back of the shop needs to back us up too, because if you do all this and your installation or your quality or control is bad, then there's no point. It's just gonna go down. Then also as an operator, then business owners know that managing cash flow, managing the money to support this process is just as important, because you can have all the leads in the world, the customers in the world, the technical ability, but you're financially not strong enough to execute your growth plan. So that needs to be managed. I have to have money for film. I have to have money. I have to make payroll. I have to have money for my marketing budget. So that managing the financial and to be smart about it, it's very important.
So you were saying you don't operate, you really work with your teams now. You're working with those 6 different areas, departments, if you will. But then now you mentioned the financing side. Do you do your own finances?
I have people that help me, of course, but there is a lot of parts that. So I do the strategy behind it, but the execution is not me. I like to give things to the people that can do better than me. Always
hire better than your best.
Mm-hmm.
Find people who are.
They will just do better than me and show me like what am I doing wrong in this. I turned to a marketing agency when I was not aware, because I can go to Instagram and do a nice picture, a nice project that we did, and I just boost it, choose the radius, choose the demographic, and just hope it will convert. But if I go to the professional and then they would tell me, no, well, we don't have a negative keywords, and we don't have the right keywords, we don't have the right target, the right demographics, the right budget, whatever the case, all the stuff that you guys do, it will help me to execute my plan better. I'll come up with the plan and then let people execute it.
I was just making a marketing video in your shop, and I was saying, one of the key lines is, if you just only rely on your experience, you're going to grow at the rate of your experience.
That's true.
Experience is expensive. How many years is it going to take you to learn and master all those disciplines yourself? But you're building teams, you're putting people in place and turning them into leaders.
We're always building team, always grow our team. Most of our team has been with us since day one. And all my window tinters now, they're full-time PPF installers. All our prep team, now they're full-time window tinters. All my PPF installers now, they're managing shops. So now everybody's growing. We have Diana, my partner in Orlando. When Diana started, she was not a partner in paper, but she's a beast, and she did her part. Now she's a partner in a company. Now we have 2 or 3 people that are on route to become partners in a company.
How important, in your opinion, is partnerships? Because there's so many one-man operators out there. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it kind of bottlenecks you sometimes. Do you believe in partnerships? Should more people be open to having a partner in business, or should they just be the only one?
I believe in the right partnership, not just partnership in general. 2 brains is better than 1.
Yeah.
But they have to be also as dedicated. Like, I tried to partner with some people that they did not do any impact, positive or negative, to the company. So at some point I was like, okay, well, if I'm doing everything, I'd rather just do it myself, or to partner up with those that will actually help us. And what's helping us is the team. I have people that they come in from 9 o'clock in the morning to 6 p.m., 6 days a week, every day, every week for the last 4 years. Those are the people that I want to be partnered with, the people that invested, even if it's not money or it's not experience, they invest their time. It's more the most valuable. And that's why those people are going to be my partners. I already started, and I'm going to continue give pieces of the company to my team.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And you're not slowing down. So you have 2 locations now. Let's talk about the big bomb you dropped on me when I was coming here. You're opening up your 3rd one. Let's talk about the big bomb that you dropped on me. You're opening up your 3rd location. Is that right?
Yes, we are opening our 3rd location, and it's actually within our market, not too far from here, as an expansion to our Tampa shop. So Pinellas County, we're coming. We are opening a big shop, 25,000 square feet.
That's just nuts. I mean, how are you going to keep that busy?
I thought 16, 17,000 square feet will take a lot of cars, and we can continue here and grow here. And within the first year, unfortunately, we couldn't get cars fast enough out to a point where we have more cars parked outside than inside. So now we're off season, January and February. So having a full shop right now is just an alarm that when it comes to April, May, June, the time that we actually have a lot of movement, cars in and out, we'll be in trouble. So we're preparing to open our new location in April.
In April. Wow, that fast.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in late February. January, you guys are slammed. The shop is packed right now, so I can see why you're trying to expand and get ready for that growth.
We had a really good January. I think it was our best. So the thing is, like, we always like have the best months coming up because we're still in the growth period.
Yeah.
So last March was better than March before. The past January is better than the previous January, because we're still on the climbing.
So the Tampa's only been here for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and you're doing some pretty cool stuff, like putting their names on the walls now.
There's study. You see that?
That's
That's pretty cool.
I like that.
So we have like those graffiti bricks.
I mean, you're creating a tribe. You're creating a community. That's different from just.
We have those graffiti bricks on our wall, and we learned like this is how the company was built. Is by the customers that give us the trust, and they keep coming and they keep giving us business, and they keep putting our name out there, and also our team. And we have another wall for all our team, even those that don't work with us anymore. We have all their names.
So I mean, you have a huge graffiti theme here.
Yeah,
a lot of artwork here, and sending in Orlando. Is the new location gonna have the same feeling?
Yeah,
the same vibe.
Yeah, we're gonna try to keep it the same. We started to work on the theme theme right now.
That's something that I've noticed about the biggest shops in the United States. You know, the award winners, the guys that lead their markets, they're really good at branding. You have a really solid brand, and you know your brand.
It's all about the brand.
Yeah.
If you don't brand yourself and make sure that your name gets out there, and when people come in, you actually be able to back this up. You have the best installation, you have the best customer service, you have the best process, then it's not going to work. When you guys come in, like how many videos comes up on my feeds like, oh, how come their shop and make it busy? Or, oh, you're tired of getting leads, or whatever case may be. We studied. We studied together, and then you get somebody in, and you're like, okay, here's my credentials, and next thing you know, you have like one lead in the morning. Or like you ask them like, okay, what are you doing for this? What are you doing for that? They don't have an answer for. It's just like they talk too much and they're not able to back it up. That's why we continue to work together, whether we directly work together, indirectly work together, is because you say, hey, I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, and you actually happen to do it. And when we say, but this part of the marketing plan is not performing well, I find an answer of like, yeah, we understand. We're working on it. Okay, leave me alone. I'll figure it out.
The stuff. I mean, the volume that you push is crazy though, because
do push a lot of volume.
I mean, lead flow, the amount of cars. How many cars did you just do in January between both locations?
January we did. You mind?
No.
Give you the accurate numbers.
Love it. Got to be specific. Detail orientation.
So January
in the slow season too.
What's considered to be slow season. Which is we were not expecting to have a big January or anything.
Well, everybody's slow during January. It's flat. Consumers just spent all their money during Christmas time, New Year's.
January, Tampa did 230 cars, 345 in revenue, while Orlando, I think Orlando did better than Tampa that month.
He said how many cars?
240 something. 345 grand.
That's what somebody showed me a year.
And we don't do a lot of services. Well, like we spoke about this earlier. I only focus two things. We're a film company that the only thing we do is paint protection film and window tint, and that's it.
PPF and
so you have a great opportunity to work on flat glass and commercial residential, but we just not staffed for it. And then Orlando, obviously Diana is a beast. Diana can do 369 at 172 cars.
That's
172 cars.
That's someone's yearly top line revenue. You did that in a month, and one year locations, not even
a lot of cars. When you do 370, 380, 400, but you have 400 cars, which is what we do in a season, summertime, right? 350 cars, 400 cars are on there. It's fine to pull whatever number, but to do that revenue on 170 cars, it's crazy. So this is sales.
That's the crazy part. I thought for years and years that you did vinyl because there's that many full body color change.
I don't talk bad about vinyl. Vinyl has its own thing, and like the graphics and the marketing and grid demand and stuff. It's just like we're trying to work on efficiency and our installers, and we have great vinyl installers. I have two of the best vinyl installers in the world. Bruno, who's Golden Glove.
Oh, really? Really?
The Golden Glove, like This is the master of vinyl. And Tiago.
So the shop has awards and your installers have awards.
Oh, my installers have more awards than I could ever imagine. I have 4 Golden Glove installers. I have 3 best installs in the world.
But no vinyl. There's no.
And there are vinyl installs. Those awards are vinyl awards.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're not. There's not.
No, we're not doing
shop
vinyl.
There's not one car and there's.
No, we're just trying to be efficient. So like there's a wet install, dry install.
Yeah,
different application. Completely different applications. So now we're programs like spray, lay the film, move on, next car. So once we do a vinyl job, which is we are very capable of doing a vinyl job, it just switches the dynamic.
Do you have, there's like what, 4, 5, 6 full body PPF jobs going on right now? It's the big buzzword of the industry right now. Color.
We have, so every installer in the company will have 3 cars on the ground at any given time. The car that he's working on, the car already prepped, which is he's going to work on next, and his third car. And that's what causes the stress on Diana, myself, my sales team. Every installer in a company will have to have 3 cars in the ground, not booked for next week. Booked for next week, this is what we work on.
Do you sleep? Are you one of the guys that sleeps 3 hours a night and is great?
I sleep from midnight to 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. I get up from 4 to 7. That's my most productive 3 hours of the day.
No shit.
Yeah, it makes you lose sleep, makes you stress.
But you can function off of 4 hours of sleep.
If you ask anybody that's industry, like technical enough, Trit and Tien and Mike Nor and these guys that are like really into it, ask them if you have in one location, let's say Orlando, if you have 11 PPF installers that are all commissioned, let's say, and you have to make sure that every single one of them is busy. And we never had to send an installer home because we don't have a car for them. But that takes a lot of work, a lot of stress.
Oh, you ain't slowing down, man. You're just getting busier and busier.
Yeah,
so doing a hell of a job.
You have 11 PPF installers that are all beasts. They average anywhere between 2.5 cars to 3.5 cars. Some of my installers, they do 4 full cars a week. Yeah.
Just one install.
Bruno, Thiago, Nasser, Brian, Jeremy, all these guys, they do 3.5 to 4 cars a week.
That's crazy.
And for me, my job is to get each one of them 4 full cars, full body clear paint protection film, full body color change, full body whatever.
What do you think the future of the industry looks like? Because it's clearly changing. You used to be able to, it used to be easier to get into this space, but the game is more competitive now.
It's easy. You just have to have the right plan. You have to see who's doing what, and you got to make sure when you go in there, if you want to compete, if you want to do like high level, next level stuff, right? You have to be prepared for it. Mentally, physically, financially. You have to have the right team around you. You have to be prepared for it. But going in and like just shooting in the dark, and there is a lot of successful business. They don't have to do all the numbers.
Right.
They don't have to do 7 figures. They don't have to do 8 figures. They are, let's say, an operation of 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. But they are working to their maximum capacity. This is great. Let's
talk about that. Somebody who is in their first year, second year in business, what advice would you give them?
Well, have a plan first. What your vision is, and once that is done, work with the right people. Work with the right people and ask. Have a mentor. I had a mentor. I didn't come in acting like I know everything.
Oh,
I was reaching out to every person that I can get a good advice from. And I invested in my learning experience.
I'm constantly learning from somebody.
Yeah.
Always picking someone's brain. I mean, shoot, as soon as I seen you again, I was like, dude, what are you doing here? How's this? How's that? How's that? You always gotta keep learning.
Yeah, and we learn from all our partners. We learn from MediaTune. Like, you guys change our perspective on how we run marketing. And we had a conversation 2 years ago when I was starting and you were starting.
Yeah.
That, no, you have to be staffed accordingly. Like, I am holding myself accountable to be staffed accordingly in case if I get that much volume, I have to be ready, right? if I go to a marketing company and I'm asking them like, hey, I need 100 leads a day.
That's true.
So I can.
I remember this. I was in California I was in SoCal when we had this conversation.
And I was like, I need 100 leads a day. I don't know how you're going to get there. You have an open budget, you have everything, but I need 100 leads a day because the way my sales staff is set up right now, we're at 20% closing ratio. So if you give me 100 leads a day, I'll get 20 cars. If I get 20 cars.
Do you hear this? 100 leads a day. Do you guys hear this? 100 leads a day, not a week, not a month.
Yeah. No, I need 100 leads a day.
That's crazy.
And because I know, I mean, I'm not closing 70%. I'm not closing 80%. I'm only closing 20%. And I need 20 cars a day. So how are we going to do it to get there? It's pure math.
When I do consulting for a shop and I hear that they're closing at 70, 80% a day, I know something's off.
80% a day?
Or so, yeah. Well,
they close 80%?
Here's what it is. Anytime I've done this, probably 100 times, I start asking, well, where do you get your customers from?
Let me go have a conversation with my sales team. 80%?
No, it's all word of mouth.
Oh, yeah.
It's all word of mouth. So how do you scale word of mouth?
It is a good experience, it's a process.
It's a great profitable business, but if you're going to scale and grow, you have to know where to spend money to get more customers. And that's the problem. They don't spend money to get more customers, so it's not predictable. It's not consistent. Yeah. It's super seasonality. It's super competitor driven. And the minute something comes in, they're not prepared. They're not prepared. And that's usually where that conversation comes from. They start looking for marketing help. But once they see that, hey,
and you always tell me like, yeah, there's a lot of people that have a big plan, big goals, but internally they're not prepared.
I think right now I'm just going into 2025. I'm just really trying to make sure everybody knows you got to be dialed in. You got to be dialed in.
You have to have a good process. If you go ask my team and ask Isabel, what do you do here? She'll tell you one thing. I answer chats. Digital,
they know their
client communication only. She doesn't do incoming. She doesn't do outgoing. She does digital client. Any comments, any review, any chat, messengers, WhatsApp. That's the only thing she does. Sit behind the computer. She does digital communication. I have one person only do incoming calls. As that phone that just rang, I guarantee you, it was answered by the right person and the best person to answer a phone call, not to make a phone call out. That's a completely different story. Mm-hmm. That's an outbound. So the phone call that was just received, I guarantee you, in this company, is answered by the best person to receive a phone call.
Right.
Then the lead is handed to the person that's going to be the best person to call out a lead and start the conversation from scratch, and so we can acquire a new client, a new friend. So everything is just so structured, and people look at me like you're just doing so much.
Well, on the level that you're operating on, that's the way it's supposed to be. Before I started Media Team, I worked in a multi-figure company. They right when I left, they went to be a 9-figure company, and the bigger the company, the more dialed in the sales process has to be, and that's really what I try and help people understand as well. Each customer comes from a different type of marketing channel. Word of mouth, you're gonna have that high close rate. They're coming to you. It's Uncle Bob said, hey, look, this. You got to go to Tinterz. You got to go check them out. You're going to get a better close rate compared to somebody that comes from Facebook. 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10. If you're really good, and it's a fortune's in the follow-up. So knowing those different types of leads and lead temperatures is
if you are investing your own money as a shop operator in marketing, you have to have an understanding of what you don't. You have to know what is the difference between the people that are searching for you, Google ad campaigns or maps and local campaigns, and the people that you're gonna interrupt their search on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and stuff. Yeah. These people are not expecting to do a service. You just happen to pop in their screen.
Yeah, exactly.
And
they're hanging out, watching family and friends on Facebook.
Your sales team need to know if that lead's coming from Facebook, has a specific or from social media,
different
approach than the person that's actually calling you and asking you for a service that he wants to do on his new car, his pre-owned car. They need to be trained properly, and I think that's what's helped me. Like I'm always in sales. I've been in sales since I was 16 years old. I did telemarketing. I did sales. I did door to door. I did.
If somebody's trying to get really good at sales and they know they have a sales problem, what
You can find a sales coach and invest in it. I was just out of elementary the other month, last one.
Yeah.
I flew everyone that I need have them to be advanced in operation to go here, you and Aladdin and Mike Norg and all the great speakers that you guys had. And even though we might be doing more volume than, most people that were attending, however, I'm sure they're doing something better than us.
Yes.
And that's why we went. And, we invested and we went there and we took the time off from the shop, which is very costly, just to go look at what people are doing.
You're removing your key players from
next week. We're going to Arizona for an Eastman conference.
Are you going?
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the conference. Yeah. See you there.
Oh, nice.
I'll see you.
We'll be there. Me and I think two people from our Orlando shop, 2 people from the Tampa shop. We're just gonna go listen and we try to learn as much as we can. We go to SEMA every year. We go for a reason. We go to learn what people are doing different and what people are doing better than what we're doing. Because my job and my team gets frustrated because I always come in as like, hey, what is this? What is that? Like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? And they were like, like, it's so stressful. And it was like, my job is not to like high five on what's going right, because what's going right, we already invested the time and and the money to get there. But my job is to figure out what's going wrong. And I always tell me, I was like, hey, what is your problem, man? Like, you had like a record month. So I was like, no, you don't understand. It's not about the record months. It's about that I know we are missing the boat on whatever, like
I call it
TikTok ads.
I call it the one big domino. There's always one big domino that is the biggest fire in the company that will knock down all the rest.
Yeah, and I try to tell them like, hey, this is not trying to be negative or anything, but this is the only thing I do. I work in the process. So I have to see where the broken link in order to improve better, because there's a lot of people counting on me to make this work.
Yeah,
it's not just a job or work or how well we're getting paid or how many cars we do. None of that stuff matters really. What matters is like there is a lot of people that counting on us to sustain and
get it done.
Just get it done somehow. And there's a lot of challenges in the market, and you know how it is. You hear a lot from shop owners and you guys thought like, oh, this is election year, this is a snowstorm, this is whatever, tax season, non-tax season, slow season, busy season. And so there is always something changing and we have to stay afloat.
I think it's something I'm constantly talking about. I'm trying to really hammer home for as many people as I can. And it's that the industry is changing, before, and it's not just about marketing, right? Yes, you need to have a great brand. You have to take social media seriously, Google seriously. You have to have a great website now because everyone has a great website now. But it's, it's also it's really the whole customer experience.
The whole customer experience. And
it's the whole customer.
Your reputation is everything.
The minute they see the brand, the minute they see the marketing, the minute someone answers the phone, the minute they walk in the showroom, the minute they come and pick up the car at the end. Like, it's the whole experience that has to be dialed in now. You have to have that full package, or it's really hard to just keep growing in this space.
Yeah. When you were filming out there and you said, hey, Marwan, you okay? Because there was like a lot of what is it? Tension? There was a lot of tension.
For a minute, for a second.
For a second?
Yeah.
It's simple, but somebody told the customer that their car is going to be ready at 2:30, and a client of mine drove an hour and a half to come take delivery at 2:30, and the car is not ready till 4:30. And everybody in the shop knows that this car is not going to be ready for till 4:30 because have glass coating that needs 2 hours of drying. So I take that very serious, even though it might sound like, okay, who cares?
But for a 3-hour round trip, that's a 3-hour round trip. That's
or 2 hours waiting in the lobby, or now I have to tell a customer, hey, please go to lunch and come back in 2 hours. Like, yeah, but your staff told me that I should come at 12:30. I'm taking my kids to Disney or whatever the case may be. and I take that now there is a fire alarm.
Yeah.
The communication was as the client, or the communication between the installers and my front desk staff, or communication was my staff with me, or my communication with them. So even though something simple like that, we take it very serious. Like everybody needs to drop whatever they're doing, and we need to have a meeting on how did that happen on one car. And we're delivering about, between window tint and paint protection film today, we're probably delivering about 30 some cars. But that one car that goes wrong, it just ruins everybody's day. So we always work on the process of trying to be as efficient as possible, clear communication, and we just hold each other to a higher standard. And that's the only thing that will work in the industry, because there's a shop every corner.
Yeah, especially in Florida.
Yeah, Florida is very
automotive film capital of the country.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of film sales here.
Now my team, and even those for the people that work at Tinterz and they go work somewhere else, they cannot function anywhere else. I have 7 employees left us last year. Every single one of them came back. All 7.
Really?
Yep, 7 out of 7.
Why do you think?
Because they go to another place and it's not as organized, it's not as structured, it's not as programmed, and they'll be like, oh no, like, this is not how it works. This is not how we know how to do it. Place is not clean. You know, everybody does everything is instead of like being focused on the only one thing that you do best. Clear communication, professional. We don't do language. We don't do any hostility. We have zero tolerance for any bad energy, negative energy. So it's like everybody just listen to their music, doing their job.
You have a no asshole policy.
Zero. Except when I get frustrated, I just I've become difficult sometimes. But so when they go out there and they just go to another shop, with all due respect to a lot of people are doing it in a great way, but anybody that lives here and they go somewhere else, they get lost.
I can see that. I mean, look, that efficiency, that being so detail oriented got you all those awards like we're talking about.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're gonna have a pretty crazy grand opening.
Yeah.
Coming up around April, May.
Yeah. All Master Media too. Come on by.
Yeah. So, what do you okay, so we're gonna make an event now.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big event. It's gonna be a big
event. You know, speaking of events, we're I don't know if we're gonna have the dates by the time that this is live, but we're gonna do a colored PPF masterclass and exhibit. We're gonna do it in Houston.
This is very important. This is where the market is going.
It's where it's going, and it's so challenging. It's harder to do. But now that I'm thinking about it too, you've been doing color PPF before the trend even happened.
I've been doing color paint protection film
since
since
day one.
Came up with color paint protection film.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think we might be, if not the first one, one of the very first people to do color paint protection film. We have cars that have been doing color PPF since 2019. On social media, go back, scroll all the way down, and you'll see how many years ago we started doing color paint protection film, because we learned it just for us. It works better than vinyl, I think.
I swore you did it back then. I swear, you know?
No.
Wow. Well, it makes sense. I don't remember the team setting up a campaign for vinyl. So
yeah. Yeah,
that makes sense, you know?
Yeah. And then we have a lot of people call us for vinyl, and we try to tell them, like, we can do vinyl, however, we recommend this. And if it doesn't work, we still are capable of doing vinyl. But at the end of the day, we just want to do something. We don't want to do it correct, and we just want to make sure that we do the best product for every car.
That's awesome. It's an incredible story, and you know, I can see why you've been able to continue to beat your better your best, and just beat records that you set from the year before.
As a team, honestly, it's like we're blessed, man. We were able to come across some really, really great guys and gals, and they help us throughout, the process. And we also were fortunate to connect with the right people in the industry, whether on the marketing side or, film companies, and they believed in that vision after we've proven that we are doing it the proper way. and just everything came together, and it's working now, and hopefully continue to work out.
Well, make sure you subscribe to Tinterz. Keep an eye on them. Watch them for their next location. And subscribe to Automotive Mastery as well. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff, a lot of good announcements going around the corner.
We have SEMA.
SEMA?
Yeah.
There's going to be, we're...
you guys are going before SEMA, right?
Yeah, the conference. There's the Color PPF Masterclass that's going to happen end of April. We're going to make those announcements. So you'll be in Houston.
Okay.
And then our conference is coming back to SEMA.
Who's hosting it? Mike?
Yeah. Automotive Mastery. Automotive Mastery. So it's under that umbrella. But anything you want to tell to the community? Anything you want to say to the community?
No, let's just keep on growing and keep on educating people. And the more that we put out there, the more material, the more content that we put out there, it just it helps us.
Oh, 100%. Those tacos are probably cold by now.
Yeah. Thank you, my brother.